Have you ever wondered what's the meaning of life? What is your role in this world? Or what were you supposed to do with your life? Or basically, the ultimate question, what is your purpose? The answer to this question is unique for everyone. It differs from person to person. It is very subjective. And the main issue is most of the people have no clue about how to answer this question. We are all surrounded by different type of career opportunities, job opportunities, skills and professions that are available to us, making it very difficult for us to understand or determine what would we want to do with our life. And so the Japanese attempted to answer this question for us. And they introduced the concept of Ikigai. Ikigai translates to a reason for being. It is basically something that gives a person a sense of purpose. It helps you to find out that one activity, that one thing that you would want to wake up for every single morning for the rest of your life. Let's be honest, most of us are doing or going to do jobs that we hate. Most of us trade 5 days of unwanted slavery for 2 days of freedom and peace. And then on Sunday evenings, we think about the misery that we are going to go through again for the rest of the week. And the cycle repeats itself for life. It can be very unpleasant or even depressing to live life like that, and that's where the concept of Ikigai comes into play. The Japanese people have made an attempt to answer the ultimate question for us, and they explain this concept in a very simple and yet in a very powerful way. Finding a purpose through Ikigai is divided into 4 parts or 4 components. The first one is doing what you're good at. Now you can be good at a lot of things. You can be good at singing, you can be good at dancing, at weightlifting, at cooking, at building and maintaining relationships. The list is huge. So what should you do? Well, this is just the first part of the equation. You also need to know the other 3 parts to find your Ikigai. Second, doing what you love. What is that activity that genuinely makes you happy, that you really love doing? What is that activity when you're so engrossed in doing that you forget to eat or sleep or even go to the washroom? And it's not necessary that something you're good at is also something that you love doing. You can be good at studies, you can score really good marks in exams, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you enjoy studying, or studying is something that you genuinely love from the core of your heart. Which brings us to the third part of this equation, which is doing what you can be paid for. Now you can probably have a greater understanding of where this is going. You can earn money by literally doing anything. You can earn money by flipping burgers at McDonald's or Burger King. You can also start earning by getting a sales job or getting a job at a call center. But again, it doesn't necessarily mean that you enjoy working at a call center or it is something that you love doing. Obviously, you don't love flipping burgers, right? And lastly, doing what the world needs. Well, what does the world need? The world needs money, the world needs freedom, the world needs love, it needs intimacy, it needs a lot more than that. But what is something that you have that can add value to someone else's life or change someone else's life? What is something that you could do to make someone else's life better? So these are the 4 necessary components to find your Ikigai. And the fun part is when you combine any of the 2 components together, you will find a meaning in it. For example, when you combine what you're good at and what you love doing, you will find your passion. For example, you're good at playing guitar and you really like doing it, you really love doing it, but you're not earning from it and the world doesn't need it. So that's your passion. When you combine what you're good at and what you can be paid for, you can find your profession. For example, if you're good at treating your patients and you're a doctor, that is your profession. Or if you're good at winning arguments, you can become a lawyer and that will be something that you're good at and someone will pay you for that. When you combine what you can be paid for and what the world needs, you find your job. It might not be something that you're good at or that you love doing, but you are paid for it and the world needs it. And lastly, when you combine what you love and what the world needs, you find your mission. The best example of this would be the people working at NGOs. They are not earning anything from it. They might not be very good at it, but it is something that they love. It is something that the world needs, and they do that. But to find your Ikigai, to find your meaning of life, it's extremely necessary for you to find that one activity that includes all of these 4 things, that fulfills all of these 4 requirements. That is, doing what you're good at, doing what you love, doing what the world needs, and doing what you can be paid for. Again, the answer to this question would differ from person to person because everyone has a different meaning of life and everyone will naturally associate these questions with different things in life, and that's the uniqueness of Ikigai. Now look, this doesn't mean that you leave your job or whatever you're currently doing and just start with whatever you love doing or whatever you're good at, because high chances are practically you won't start earning with that activity overnight yet. You might have to do a lot more work, you might have to improve your skill even more, you might have to learn different ways to monetize your activity, may it be offline or online. You have to educate yourself a lot more and you have to gradually make your way till your Ikigai. Because it's not a one-day process. The only way to find your Ikigai is by being truly and brutally honest to yourself. The more lies you tell to yourself, the more you tell to yourself that this is something that I genuinely love, I love my job, even though deep within you don't, the more farther away you drift from your Ikigai. The more you push your Ikigai away from you. Lastly, it will not be easy. It will take some time, it will take a lot of hard work, a lot of determination, and it will require a hell lot of self-awareness. But once you find your Ikigai and you actually manage to put it to practice, you will live a much more fulfilled and healthier life with this approach. So take your time to contemplate and journal to find your own Ikigai. Find your unique answer to these 4 questions. What is something that you love doing? What is something that you're genuinely good at? What is something that you can be paid for? And what is something that the world needs? And you will definitely find your Ikigai. Someone is ringing my bell, so I need to go. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on this concept in the comment section below, and I'm ending this one here.